You'd figure after a whole year of doing these sort of things, I'm actually kind of used to it, but no, I'm not. All right, my friends, guess what? It is Monday. It is 8 o'clock. And if it's Monday at 8 o'clock, then it's Mighty Monkey's Nerd World News. And I am your host. My name is Tom Holland. With me, as always, is Zendaya and Jon Favreau. Because he's happy.
Happy Hogan.
Because he's happy. How you doing, James?
Y'all are whack.
Yeah, well, you've known that for how long now? We got to with comments. Hello, James. Hello, Sierra. Hello, Elizabeth. Hello, Peter. All right. So, as I kind of said last week, this is kind of it. So we're really not doing a lot of official stuff today, but let me just jump real quick over here to, I don't know if this is going to work. Let's see what that happened. Boom. There it is.
No spoilers.
Spider-Man, No Way Home. This is a spoiler-free review moment, but let me just go ahead and say that they had a monster of a weekend, an absolute monster of a weekend, and nearly $500 million at the box office internationally. So come on, folks. Holy moly. And Tanya and I can say we've seen it now. Dan has seen it. James, have you seen it?
Not yet. I won't be seeing it until January.
Okay. All right. Dude, when you go, let me know. And if I'm available, I want to go with you because I want to see it again. That's all I'm going to say about this movie.
Sean wants to see it. He's kind of upset that we went.
I want to see this movie again, and I'm going to need to see it again because there's so much stuff going on, and it was amazing. So that is huge. Elizabeth goes on, I've already seen it twice, and I want to see it again. She's obsessed with it. Yeah, it was huge. The nostalgia was perfect. The action was perfect. Everybody who participated was amazing. Now, Peter wants to, of course, change the subject as he usually does.
Doctor Who?
To Doctor Who, as he wants to do. Can we talk about Doctor Who this week? What would you want to talk about Doctor Who, my friend? Because honestly, I'm speechless at this point. I am on the fence of whether or not I liked Flux. I thought it was better writing than usual. Dan sent me a TikTok earlier of David Tennant, a scene from David Tennant's run, and his comment was, you just don't have writing like that. And I wonder what would happen if Jodie had the opportunity to have writing like David and Matt did. And I agree. Did you like the episodes? In the overall, did I like the episodes? Yes. Yeah. You can tell that was enthusiasm. I thought the story was interesting that they were trying to tell. I thought that the characters were more interesting than usual. I liked the supporting characters that were helping her out. Elizabeth goes on to say, mostly my thoughts on Flux is that it was great, but it really needed another episode or two for the last few to not feel so rushed. And I agree. I think that's something that seems to be common with a lot of franchises. They get to almost the end, and then they're like, oh crap, we have a whole lot to do and not a lot of time to do it in. Game of Thrones was a victim of that, for instance. That's a very clear-cut version of it. FC3 is on board. Hello, FC3. Good to see you. And good to see you. And Annie Vance is on. That's amazing.
So it must be Deanna might be FC3. Then.
I would say that's possible. So let's talk about Doctor Who. Chris Chibnall was the wrong person to be showrunner. I'm going to say that out loud. Over the 3 years that Jodie Whittaker was the Doctor, his writing was all right. I liked his story ideas. I didn't like the execution of them. They were weak. Now, the actors were fantastic. I thought Jodie was a great Doctor. I would have wished her to stick around for a little bit longer into the Russell Davies era and see what Russell could have done with Jodie Whittaker. That would have been a combination I really would have enjoyed seeing, I'm pretty sure of. Was Jodie Whittaker a bad Doctor? No. God, no. Absolutely not. I will put my foot down on that one, and I will put my foot on the neck of anybody who says that she was an abomination, as they were prone to saying. Let's go into this.
Ding, ding, I win. Deanna's FC3.
Okay. I think a big part of the rushed episodes was that they filmed all of this during COVID, so I think budget cuts happened. I believe Dan's actor also got COVID during filming, so I don't know how much of that may have affected things. All right, and that's all valid observations. So basically two things working against Jodie's tenure as the Doctor, mainly Chris Chibnall and his writing style. Also, I'm saying Chris Chibnall and his writing style. I think that's the biggest thing right there. So, Peter, what did you think? You tell us in the comments what you thought of Flux. And then we'll take a moment Adding in only having restrictions on how many people could be on set at any given time. Yeah, that's a thing. Elizabeth goes on to say, that said, I can't wait for Big Finish to get their hands on 13's era. I want 1,000 box sets on The Fugitive Doctor. That could be interesting. I think that'd be entertaining. Bill goes on completely off the Doctor Who tangent by saying, I'm starting on Resurrecting Astronomicon 13. By the time you guys actually throw Astronomicon 13, you should probably rename it Astronomicon 14, The Search for Astronomicon 13. I think that because Apollo 13, Astronomicon 13, there might be a vibe check there. I think you might want to look into that one, Billy. Now, I'm still waiting for Peter's comments on Doctor Who. Also, going forward, who's going to be the next Doctor? My money is on Rupert Grint. Anyway, moving on. Sierra Beers goes on to say something. Come on, comment. Snowfest and RIT Prince Adam, January 29th. Well, I might just go to Snowfest just to see you do that. I think that'd be amazing. Peter goes on to say, I thought it was good episodes. They were well linked together. Yeah, good. That's the thing. They were good. None of them made me go, oh my God. Like Elizabeth's reaction to Spider-Man No Way Home. I did not achieve that with Doctor Who Flux. It's a thing. Now, will I turn my back on Doctor Who? No, never. It's my favorite show. Stop doing that. But I was not grabbed by Flux. Let's see. Batman John is on board. Hi, gang. Bill's going to tell Wayne about my suggestion, and Elizabeth really needs Gallifrey 1 to happen. I think we all do. Now is the time in the show when someone played the rules change card. Yeah, you see that too, James. All right. Now's the time
in
of the
other
show.
Flux.
Well done.
What's that?
As in the other Flux, the card game.
Yeah, there you go. You know what? I have that card game. I've only played it a couple of times. It was really fun. We should do that again sometime. Now somebody's going to have to get off their phone because it's their turn to work. Excuse me, James. As we go over here, we change graphic to here. And guess what? It's comic chick time. What did I catch you in the middle of?
Shopping.
Really? You're shopping while we're on air?
It's very important, but I can pause it for right now. It is very, very important.
You're going to tell me after the show.
I will.
You're going to tell me after the show what's going on there.
All
right, here's my expert cameraman work.
Okay.
There it is.
Hey.
My expert cameraman work. And here's Tanya Fabulous.
There you go. The first comic for this week, I believe Ann and I decided that we are comic checking this Wednesday, tentatively. I'm not 100% certain, but hopefully. Catwoman number 38. A new Poison Ivy now walks the earth. One who seems more familiar to Harley Quinn and Catwoman than she's ever been before. As the dust of feet state settles in Alleytown.
You can tell somebody didn't read the script ahead of time because they were busy shopping. Ow!
Selena comes to the heartbreaking conclusion that it may be time to surrender her crown and leave her kingdom. She has brought too much damage, too much horror to her adoptive city. But are the Strays ready to take on the responsibility of defending their homes without the help and guidance of the Catwoman? And what is to become of Catwoman's protege herself, Cheshire Cat? I don't have my glasses either. It's big, but it's still a little blurry to me today.
You want me to bring it up on the screen and you can
that's
expand
okay.
it? Okay.
No. Black Panther number 2. T'Challa must act quickly to save his sleeper agents before they're assassinated. With the help of his sister Shuri, he might be one step closer to the culprits.
What are those?
But is it too late? What are those? The assassins seem to be always one step ahead, and T'Challa better watch his back, for secrets lie everywhere.
Dun, dun, dun.
Night of the Cadillacs number 2.
I liked the cover.
And the cover is really cool. Our heroes Stiv and Hope flee supernatural gangs commanded by the sinister godfather Papa Duke. Hungry for blood and revenge, the vicious gangs, the Tall Jacks, Killtown, Chamberlains, Lipstick Clica, and the Stitches close in on Stiv and Hope. With time running out, badly outnumbered, and their backs against the wall, Stiv desperately fights back alongside Hope, who discovers she has a deep and dark personal secrets and powers she never knew she had. Ooh. Stay tuned. Night of the Cadillacs number 2.
There you go. And last but not least,
Nubia and the Amazons number 3. We did one of the Nubia ones a couple weeks ago, didn't we?
I think so.
Yeah. After their
cover
fight
was just
club,
badass, so I had to go.
Nubia believes that she's gained an ally in the warrior Andromeda. But little does she know, this new prospect destined to become champion of Doom's Doorway is a little too eager to prove herself, and it has led to a bargain with the evil she swore to protect man's world against.
There it is.
Yep.
So you're not comic checking this week? Maybe comic checking this
Maybe,
week.
I don't know. And yes, no, maybe so. Are you making stew?
And will there be stew? Dun, dun, dun. So friends, that's Comic Chicks, and check out that in the new year too, because they'll be doing more as always in the coming time ahead. This is also now the time where I would actually start traditionally talking about Patreon. I haven't done that in a little while. Bad me. But patreon.com/Mighty Monkey, you are going to find, or FC3 Rock, excuse me, you're going to find several ways of being able to sponsor us and support our efforts as we go forward, moving on into the future with various things and accoutrements. Also on the Patreon is sometimes you can find the blog. You'll find the back issues of James's blog. And I'm not sure what's going to go. We're going to see about getting you back up in writing again in the future.
We're going to try. I mean, the podcasts have been taking up a lot of time.
And that's cool because you've been doing a great job with Chrissy and Pemmy. So that's definitely worthwhile. So again, it might be one of the changes you see is that we're going to work on something that you see on our Patreon. But for now, James has something to say about a game that's been coming out. James.
About a game that came out in 2020 and just recently won a very prestigious award. This past weekend, the roguelike game Hades from developers Supergiant became the first video game to win a Hugo Award. The 2020 release is the story of Zagreus, pictured here, the son of the Greek god of the underworld as he escapes from said realm of Hades, and remains one of the most popular games of the past couple years. The Hugos are annual awards for excellence in writing in science fiction and fantasy works. And this year, the awards introduced a category specifically for video games for the first time in the awards history, which honestly strikes me as a little late to the party, but that's par for the course for things like this. Consider it took the Emmys until 1989 to give a category for Best Hard Rock or Heavy Metal Performance, and the first award in that category went to Jethro Tull over the likes of Metallica, AC/DC, and Jane's Addiction. But I'm editorializing. Regardless, Supergiant Games' creative director Greg Casfin could not attend in person and accepted his award via a Twitter message, relating that he was honored that the genre is being recognized by the Hugos, let alone their own work. Speaking personally, I own Hades on the Switch, but it remains in my backlog for the time being, but I can speak to Supergiant's excellence based on their 2011 release Bastion, which was absolutely a legitimate breakthrough in storytelling in a video game through its combination of unique visual presentation and very well-performed narration. And it's a game I never hesitate to recommend to anyone who enjoys action-adventure titles. So I'm not terribly surprised that this is the studio to break the barrier in this regard. Compared to the Emmys example I gave, the Hugos actually seem to have gotten this right the first time. Chris, back to you.
Beautifully done, as always, my friend. Beautifully done. And of course, my Doctor Who people are already making Zagreus references because there was this whole thing on Big Finish around the 8th Doctor, I believe. He was involved in that particular series. So yeah, Elizabeth is going through the whole, Gallifreyan chant and everything in the comment section, which I think is hilarious. Before we jump in, Peter has some more. Any chance we could get someone from the classic Battlestar Galactica show to appear at Comic-Con? Yes, it's possible. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to pull it off this year. We did actually sign Richard Hatch to come to, I believe he was going to come to the second show, but unfortunately, then he passed away from pancreatic cancer before he could appear at the show.
Was it year one?
It was year 2.
Was it year 2?
Yeah, because remember, we made the joke. Year 1, we had George Animal Steel back out.
Oh, that's right.
Because of health reasons. And then year 2, Richard Hatch passed away before he could show up. So we were worried about who we were going to invite for year 3. Because we didn't want anybody to die just because we were negotiating a contract with them or something like that. But Dirk Benedict is out there and several faces from the original Battlestar Galactica, and that would suit President Dan big time because that's like his jam. He is to Battlestar Galactica as I am to Doctor Who, so that's kind of a cool thing there. James's T-shirt is the bomb. Yes, you're getting some love for your Statler and Waldorf T-shirt there, James. Nicely done.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to jump away from the comments for a moment. We're going to dive back into the storyboard. There's one more thing we get to talk about for today, and that is these folks right here, kids. This just dropped. We've known it was happening, but the actual trailer just dropped in the past hour. The Harry Potter cast has reunited for a new TV special, fittingly titled The Return to Hogwarts. And the new trailer sees everyone getting very emotional. Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, Emma Watson, and some familiar faces seen throughout, the trio having played Harry, Ron, and Hermione. We see a few tears being shed in the new footage, with Watson getting overwhelmed as she talks to Grint about their time filming the series. He's quoted as saying, and you'll get to see this in the actual special, "We're family." He says, "We'll always be a part of each other's lives." Oh, that's so sweet. That is cute, though. I mean, they went through a life-changing thing for like 8 or 9 years together. Other cast members involved will be Ralph Fiennes, Helena Bonham Carter, Mark Williams, Robbie Coltrane, Ian Hart, Imelda Staunton, Jason Isaacs, and Gary Oldman will also be on board. Also expected appearances from Oliver Phelps, Tom Felton, Ivana Lynch, Alfred Enoch, Matthew Lewis, Bonnie Wright, Chris Columbus, who directed the very first 2 Harry Potter's movies and produced the third, who will also be part of the reunion. Let's see. Somebody's quoted as saying, "The retrospective special will tell an enchanting making-of story through all new in-depth interviews and cast conversations, inviting fans on a magical first-person journey through one of the most beloved film franchises of all time." Harry Potter's 20th anniversary Return of Hogwarts releases on HBO Max January 1st of 2022 in the US, and on the same date in the UK on Sky. Until then, check out the guide on best Netflix Christmas movies. That'll be on comicbook.com, or gamesradar.com has the best Netflix Christmas movies to plan those festive movie marathons. I'm going to expand this, expand that. I'm being touched. Why? What's going on?
We are 2 degrees to Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, Rupert Grint, and the rest of the cast.
Well, yeah, because we had Josh Herdman here.
I can play the game. We're 2 degrees.
I love you. I really do. I really, really do.
I know. R.I.P.
Oh my God! Look at it. It's a space kook. That's fantastic. It's time for the cameos. Come here, you. You know you're coming. You know you're next. Come here. Oh boy. Here she is, kids. Everybody you want to see. You could care less about me.
Puppy,
I know.
here.
There she is.
Over here.
Look.
Not me. Oh.
Nope, that's it. It's all over. She wants.
No, not me.
Oh, there we go.
Puppy.
Yep. I think I just got molested by my own dog.
Yeah, I know. She wants it. Oh, fine. You're on my lap.
Oh, yeah. Ready?
Uh-huh.
1, 2. We're professionals. There we go.
Hi, baby.
There you go. She's an invasive species. What do you want?
There you go.
We've reached the end, friends. That's it. We've got some birthdays to talk about in a moment, and we'll get to those shortly.
Oh, you're done. You're done.
You have no stamina for that kind of thing. That's hilarious.
Big.
She's what, 55, 50 pounds? Huh. Big floofy thing. All right. Yes, Juno, the hyperball of fluff. She most certainly is. We'll get to the rest of it in just a moment. But let's just run through the birthdays real quick. Hang on just a second here, because there's a couple of cool ones, but stick with us here. All right. Monday, December 20th, Jonah Hill, Jenny Agutter, and Nicole DeBoer. So there's something for everybody there. On Tuesday, December 21st, and I apologize, people, we're about to go R-rated on the show, but it's Samuel motherfucking L. Jackson. Jane Fonda is also having a birthday tomorrow. Stephen Yoon and Julie Delpy.
And I believe tomorrow's Michael Koski's birthday.
Tomorrow's Michael Koski's birthday. I'm pretty sure of it too.
Yeah, I think I want to say
I was going to bring it up after we were done with the list, actually. So
I'm sorry.
It's all right. On Wednesday, December 22nd, Ralph Fiennes, Megan Trainor, Diane Sawyer, and Hector Elizondo. On Thursday, December 23rd, Eddie Vedder, Quincy Jones III, and legendary Simpsons voice actor Harry Shearer. On Friday, December 24th, Christmas Eve, Ricky Martin, Stephanie Meyer. You know how they say, like, they call a really good writer a wordsmith?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to call Stephanie Meyer a word burner. You know what you did, Stephanie. Ian Gomez and What's that? She's the Twilight person. She knows she did. Sparkly vampires, my ass. All right, and on Christmas Day, we say happy birthday to Justin Trudeau, Sissy Spacek, Annie Lennox, Georgia Moffat. There's one for you Doctor Who fans. And educator and former chancellor of the Washington, D.C. school system, Michelle Reed, who was very well known for being very progressive and really trying to do what she could to change how things worked in that neck of the woods. Last and not least, Sunday, December 26th, Jared Leto, Beth Bears, and everybody's favorite Mandalorian, Tamora Morrison.
Book of Boba Fett. Book of Boba Fett. Book of Boba Fett.
And as Tanya pointed out, tomorrow, December 21st, 2022, is a very dear friend, Michael Koski's birthday. Michael, man, we love you. We hope you have a great day, buddy. We'll all be thinking about you here in Rochester and shenanigans. That's Spinal Tap's legendary bassist, Harry Shearer. Yes, thank you, Douglas. I appreciate that, buddy. So we've reached the end. This is it.
Can't wait for all the Star Wars shows coming next
I know there's going to be a ton of them.
Wednesday's Hawkeye. Is it the last episode?
It's going to be the final episode of Hawkeye. Yeah.
Okay, last episode of Hawkeye, next Wednesday, Book of Boba Fett.
Book of Boba Fett.
Book of
Matrix
Boba Fett.
4 comes out in 2 days, so that's going to be a huge thing.
Kingsman comes out
The Kingsman's coming out tomorrow, and they are starting to work on the Kingsman 3. So, and they've said it's going to be Eggsy's, like the wrap up of the Eggsy's story in the Kingsman franchise.
Because this is the prequel.
The Kingsman is the prequel that comes out tomorrow. So, and especially Kenobi. Yep. So after 3 years, and I think in those 3 years I only missed.
I think you went on vacation or whatever.
I went on vacation a couple times.
Maybe like 5-6 times.
So I'm going to say I missed a half a dozen Mondays in three years.
Some of it was technical problems.
Some of it was there was a couple of times where there was
you had to problem. Where it was postponed by a day because of technical problems.
Yes, I did that. I would pick that up once in a while. Yeah. So
hi, Henrietta.
Henrietta is on board. Henrietta, a new member of the junior board. Does she even know that yet?
I don't know. Welcome to
Henrietta. We have a lot to talk about, dear.
Welcome to the junior board. James, did you miss that announcement last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, we put together there's the senior board, and that's me, that's Dan, that's Ann, that's Tanya, Deanna, and Brian Burke. Okay, that's the senior board. Those are the guys who have been running the show for several years now, right?
Pretty much the entire time.
And now what we're doing is we're taking a lot of the veterans who've been with us since day one, and we're going to be forming a junior board, like a steering committee in some groups is what they call it. And so you got names like Andy, Chrissy, Sybil, folks who have been with us from the beginning, Henrietta, and I can't remember Missy, who's been working, strive for strive with Brian in the past 6 years. So they're going to be kind of like junior staffing board. And I've got plans for you too, young man, but I didn't want to
we don't want to overwhelm you.
Right. So we're going to talk offline a little bit because I got some plans for you as well. So things that are going to be happening that we're doing to bolster the organization and get us in a position where we are going to be able to do more, see more, talk to people more. And my dad's calling me.
Yeah, he left a voicemail.
He left a voicemail again? I'm going to have to talk to my dad. I haven't talked to my dad in a couple of days. If you have the opportunity, talk to your dad because I recommend it. It's always good.
If that's a possibility.
If you have the opportunity.
Well, you know what? You can, even if your dad has passed on, you can still talk to him.
Yep, he'll be listening and he'll be judging you.
Really?
Anyway, friends, family, people, that's the end.
That is the end.
There's no more Nerd World news.
As we know it.
So as we talked about last week, we're going to go on hiatus at this time. We're going to have some meetings behind the scenes, and we're going to talk about things that we might want to do differently, and we might have a new name. We might have a new format. We might have a new presentation. There might be new hosts. You never know. I might fire myself out of just, principle at this point because I suck at this job when it really comes down to it. But something will be back on the air somewhere along the line, figure around early February. And so in the meantime, expect next week, there's going to be a live broadcast where the senior board, the 6 of us, or as many of the 6 of us as we can get together, will probably pop onto StreamYards for a casual hangout conversation during the holidays with you guys. Nothing formal, nothing fancy. But until then, for James and for Tanya, for Anne, for Deanna, for everybody who's contributed to this show over the years, for Dan, who brought us to StreamYards and got us hooked up with all this cool stuff that we use every week now, for people who have handed me information. Andy's handed me stories to talk about over the years. Tony's done that as well. For all of you guys for tuning in every week and spending a half an hour with me every Monday, and enabling my stupidity on a regular basis. I appreciate you. For Elizabeth, for Peter, for Batman John, for John Perringall, for all of the usual familiar names, for Jason, and for everybody who has popped up and made a regular hangout of us. Thank you. We do this because you keep showing up, and and if you didn't, I'd probably still do it. I'd just be talking to myself in the corner of the room.
Because we're glutton for punishment.
Yes, we are. But we love you. So keep that in mind. Keep that in your hearts. And we miss you. And we were going to see you very soon. You guys have a great holiday. Have a safe holiday. And we will not see you in the next holiday. We're going to see you
sometime after the holiday.
And we will see you next year, somewhere along the line. So you guys have a great one. Take care. Be safe. And that's that.
That's all, folks.